Hello, it's Kelly here at Zinny. Let me fix mine here for our other live stream that we're doing on Facebook. Today we're talking about motivation. How do you stay motivated in your practice, especially when you're really busy? But let's be real, especially when it's 2021. I think with everything happening with the pandemic, more and more motivation is waning for people. We're getting even more fatigued and tired than before. And I think the concept of motivation needs to be revisited in a different light, not with a hustle and grind capitalistic kind of mindset, but instead of looking at what do we need to find some homeostasis so that we can continue to work on our practices. If you think about it, there's a lot of talk about either you're motivated by pleasure or by pain. So if we're motivated by one of those, I might argue that we're motivated by homeostasis. We are seeking to find some level of equilibrium, whatever that may be for us. Now, for some of us, chaos in our family of origin or in our upbringing is what we're trying to achieve. That feels like homeostasis because it's familiar, it's what we know, it's what we've done. And so what can happen is that in order for us to stay engaged in our business, we create what feels most familiar. So that can be that feeling of chaos, or could be of avoidance, those kinds of things. But if you have a business that you're running and you want to stay in it, and you want it to shift and not be chaotic or not be something you avoid, staying motivated to change is very important. And what do we need for that? We need dopamine. What kills dopamine? Cortisol, stress. How many of you have been going through that right now? What gives us dopamine? Rest, play, connection. So when we think about motivation, people will go to, well, I need to either make it really enjoyable, or I gotta make it so risky that I hustle through and I get things done. And I just want to present to you that if you want to stay motivated in your business beyond doing the clinical work in terms of growing the business or managing it and being involved in it in a way that works for your life, you need the dopamine, you need the rest, you need the space, you need the play. So we can find a lot of extrinsic and intrinsic rewards for staying motivated. But at a neurobiological level, we need to find that space of rest and play. So if you've not been feeling motivated lately, there can be in this, especially in the US, this thing about you gotta push, right? There's this Instagram account I follow, the Nap Ministry. I love their account. It is about napping, about resting, how resting is a revolution, how resting is a way to fight back against oppression and systems that keep us exhausted. And honestly, owning a business and being in that system can be exhausting. And so how do we counteract that? We stay motivated when we have the energy to do so, when we have the dopamine, we're enjoying things, when we are open-minded and clear and not pressured and rushed. Maybe you have functioned that whole way, but I just want to say maybe that's because that's what you're used to, not because it's what's good for you or what's really helping you. So just take a minute and think about, this past year, we've been wanting and longing for things to get better, for us to feel relief. And stuff keeps coming, fires and buildings falling and more civil unrest and Delta variants and illness, and it just keeps coming. And if you want to stay motivated in what you've created, pushing isn't always the answer. You can do that for a point, and then you can end up in the ER like I did, with stress and migraine and feeling worse than if you had just let go of some of these expectations on yourself about you have to push or it won't get done. I find that if you want to find flow, you have to create space for it. And it's why I do quarterly retreats in my business. Miranda and I at Zinni Me, we sit together once a quarter and we rest. And we talk about life and we talk about business, and that's where some of our best ideas and biggest pivots in our business have come from. And that's what we want to teach you how to do. How moving into your body, how your breath, how being still can lead you to answers and clarity. It can lead you to getting rid of the stuff that you no longer need to keep hustling on and feeling like you have to force. And it can open you up to options and opportunities in your business. So if you've been feeling like you're trudging through the mud, if you've been feeling just overwhelmed by life, but also by the vicarious trauma that you go through as a clinician, I want to encourage you to take time away. I totally get that that can be a privilege. But even if it's half of a day, an evening where you do something totally different than you would normally do, even if it's an hour here or there to start, that is the start. And that is how you can start to find your motivation again. Because when we are in our business, we are still in the therapeutic relationship. What you do in your business impacts that therapeutic relationship, and it impacts you. So when we rest and then we get back into what our business needs, we are serving our clients while serving ourselves, and that is a win-win. So we would love for you to join us for a retreat experience, to see what it's like to take a day to slow down so that later you can come back into your business feeling refreshed with more clarity about your next steps. We're going to show you how moving into your body, how using your breath and play and creativity and connection and space can really transform the motivation that you have in your business and in life. It does not have to be a forced hustle and grind. It does not have to be chaotic. We want to teach the brain a new level of homeostasis. We want to have it getting dopamine because we are giving it ample rest and opportunity to function well with all synapses firing. That's the homeostasis that we want ongoing in our business. And then motivation isn't really an issue. It's there intrinsically because there's peace and groundedness. So join us at our retreat. It's going to be next month in September. It's going to be very affordable. I think it's $99. We're still doing a pandemic rate just so that people can experience a break and let other people support you. And my hope is that through that, you will find that motivation to continue doing the work without it being a burden. How do you find motivation? I'd love to hear. Post in the comments below. share this video, and we'll see you next week.